right, what's up, baseball fans? Let's get in the time machine and take a trip back to 1921. Just want to make sure I have optimum focus here. All right, that'll do. All right, back to 1921 for our payoff pitch 1921 Yankees replay. And in game 13 of the season, the 10-2 New York Yankees make their first trip to Fenway Park to take on the filthy Boston Red Sox. And in this game, the Yankees actually lost this game 2-1 in real life, played on May 2nd, 1921, which put them at 6-7, a very pedestrian start to the season. In the replay thus far, they are 10-2 and riding a hot streak coming into this one. So looking to reverse the real-life result, let's go to our lineups for the Yankees. Hey, Matt and Al, welcome to the ballpark. And Al here to root for the aforementioned filthy Red Sox, no doubt. The Yankees lineup in this one will be Tom Connolly leading off in center, Roger Peckinpah at short, Babe Ruth in left, Wally Pipp at first, Bob Musial in right, Home Run Baker at third, Aaron Ward at second, Wally Shang behind the dish, and making what seems like his 8th start of the season already, Carl Mays on the hill for the Yankees. For the homestanding Sox, it'll be Ozzie Vitt at third, Mike Minoski in left, Dell Pratt at second, Tim Purple-Haze Hendricks in right, Stucky McGinnis at first, Everett Scott at short, Shane O'Collins in center, Muddy Rule behind the dish, and Sad Sam Jones, so named for his sunny disposition, will be on the mound for the Sox. And Philip Reynolds has joined us at the park. Somehow 2 Red Sox fans got into this game. I don't know how that is possible. But we'll let them stay. It will hopefully make the Yankees win that much sweeter. Here we go. Jones pitching to Connolly to start the game off, and that is going to be an in-play result for Connolly. And 32, Connolly, a terrible hitter in the lineup today, lines that to second base, getting a rare start, and we're underway. Jones, the side armor, gets a sign, delivers to Roger Peckinpah, and that's going to be an in-play result to Peck. And Peckinpah against the right-hander, unfortunately, is going to pop that up into shallow right field. And going back to pull that in is the Red Sox second baseman, Dell Pratt, 2 down, and Babe Ruth up with the bases empty. And Bob's Tabletop Sports, welcome, Bob. Just flip a coin, and it will come up heads either way. Duke and Daisy would not be able to get in the house if they were closet Red Sox fans. Daisy is right here, by the way, and she looked at you and gave you a mocking snort. So here we go. Ruth looking to continue his recent hot streak, and that's going to be an in-play result. And the Bambino is going to drive that into the ground, and it'll be a 4-3 putout. So at second base for the Sox, Dell Pratt is busy this inning as the Yanks go 1-2-3 as we head to the bottom of the first. Sox coming up. And as I mentioned, Carl Mays, the Yankees rode him a lot early in the season. Thus far, this is actually his 5th game, or actually 5th start. He comes into this in the replay with a record of 3-1 and an ERA of 3.27 thus far. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, Bob, I don't know if you've seen Ruth's card. Forget the wheelhouse numbers. He is the only payoff pitch card. Let me get that so it's not shining. You'll notice he actually has home runs in patient even. So his 1921 card when he hit 59 home runs is absolutely insane. It's crazy. Let me just get rid of some of the glare here. There we go. All right, so here we go. Ozzie Vitt against another side armor, Carl Mays. And Mays, right off the bat, a wheelhouse result. Vitt, a big swing, and that's driven into left field, going way back and pulled in by Ruth just short of the warning track. So Vitt gave it a ride, but didn't get enough underneath it to get it out of Fenway. Brings up Mike Minoski. And Minoski's going to get an in-play result. And 78 is going to be a shallow fly ball into center field. And Tom Connolly takes a few steps in, puts that away, 2 down. So Mays off to a rocking start as well. Yeah, Joe said on that card, Bob, that he'd never run into a situation where he didn't have enough numbers in Wheelhouse to put the home runs. So that was his alternate method for getting all the Roos home runs in there. His card is absolutely crazy, though. So 9, that's going to be an in-play result to Dell Pratt. And Pratt, that's a ground ball down to shortstop. And easy 3-hopper there for the Yankee shortstop Peckinpah. So the Sox also go down in order, and we are through the first inning, no score. It's going to be Wally Pipp, Bob Musial, and the veteran home run Baker, picked up by the Yankees after the Connie Mack purge of his athletics following the 1914 World Series debacle. So Jones in play to Pipp, and Wally Pipp, that's going to be a ground ball down to second base, and Pratt has been really busy for the Sox, as that is his 4th straight putout, 1 down for Musial. And Musial is off to an extremely slow start in this replay. He comes into this game. Musial is hitting, actually he's picked it up to 200, but he leads the team in strikeouts with 11 so far. So here comes the pitch, and in-play result for Jones and Musial. It's going to be a ground ball down to third. That's backhanded near the bag and whipped across the diamond by Vitt. So 2 down in the second for home run Baker. Again, a former stalwart in those great athletics infields. The $100,000 infield. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be an in-play result to Baker. And Baker's going to hit that into the hole, and ranging behind second base is the very busy Dell Pratt. Makes his 5th put out in 6 total outs so far, and the Yankees go down quietly in the second. Heading to the bottom of the inning, it's going to be Tim Hendricks, Stuffy McGinnis, and Everett Scott. And Hendricks, introduced as Purple Haze, wondered why the announcer did that. He had no clue what that means, but he rolled with it anyway. And 14, and we're going to have our first hit of the ball game as Hendricks drives that into center field. So Mays now look to induce the double play and another athletics cast-off. Stuffy McGinnis, the first baseman, and Wheelhouse to McGinnis, 95, and that's going to be another deep fly ball into left field. Ruth, next to the wall this time, pulls it in. So Mays, he's hung a couple of meatball pitches and gotten fortunate. Both have died in left field. 1 down, runner back to first. And we're going to get our first ballpark check. And Everett Scott, a right-handed batter, 38. That's going to be an in-play result. And Scott, 63, will be a fly ball into shallow right field that Musial takes care of. Scampering back to first is Hendricks. So Mays looking to recover after that leadoff single. So far, so good. 2 down, and up steps Shane O'Collins. Another outcast, one of the unscathed members of that 1919 Black Sox team. And Collins, he's going to drive that into left field as well. An easier play for Ruth this time. So the Bambino makes the final out of the inning. The Sox get a hit, leave 1. We head to the third, no score. And Sad Sam Jones will be facing Aaron Ward, Wally Shang, and Carl Mays. Going to the chat, Robert, RJL 518. Finally, a 1921 replay game. Yes, I figured it had been long enough, so you get to whip out 1921 as well. And Utah Mike, Sports Time Machine, check out his channel as well. Welcome to the ballpark. And we have far too many Red Sox fans in attendance. Robert is another one, probably because he loves the Mets. And check out Fall Classic Baseball currently on his channel, the most accurate baseball cards and dice game out there, because the Mets have a losing record, which we know is very appropriate as Ward digs in. And this is going to be a patient result for Sad Sam Jones, and that's going to be a base on ball. So the Yankees have their first base runner. And Jones looking for the sign. Is he going to go? He will not. Yankees are not a running team in this year. Another former Athletic, Wally Shang, steps in. And 7, that's going to be an in-play result for Shang. And 56 will be a ground ball down to third. And double play 8 and 6, it's going to be a fielder's choice. So 5-4 on the putout. And that erases Ward. Hanging out on first is Shang as Carl Mays. And Carl Mays has had a pretty good season at the plate thus far in this replay. He's going to get the in-play result here. And his hotness at the dish continues. That's going to be a single. And finally, we get to go to the facts. Will be a line drive into left field, and runners will go station to station there. So first and second, one down. The Yankees with their first hit of the game, back to the top of the order. And Tom Connolly is up. I wasn't throwing shade at Roberts Mets, just a touch of reality there. All right, Al, enjoy your day at the job. I'm actually off this week and been extremely lazy, minus getting some cardio in this morning. Damn, Matt, you too? Really? The park, I guess we're at Fenway, so it would make sense the park is loaded with Red Sox fans. And it's going to be a tough result. And Connolly, big swing and an even bigger miss, as that is the second out of the inning. Connolly is begging for a pinch hitter with his start at the plate today as Roger Peckinpah steps up. And the Yankee shortstop, we're going to have our first defensive check of the day. And defensive check there, and that is going to be a potential error check on the shortstop. And 75 at short for the Yankees is Peckinpah, and Peckinpah is a 3. So error check of 3, and I'm sorry, Red Sox, not the Yankees, damn it. Everett Scott is a 5, and that makes it a little bit, that makes it worse, actually. So he easily gets to that, and Side is going to be retired. Until it's been a minute since I had this game out. So the Yankees go down in the top of the third inning, get a hit and a walk, leave a couple as we head to the bottom of the third. Still no score in this one. And for the Sox, it's going to be the catcher Muddy Rule, who will go on to have be an integral part of the Washington Senators and their 2 World Series runs in 24 and 25. It'd be Sad Sam Jones, and back to the top of the order for Ossie Vitt and Mays. It's going to be a patient result, and 92, a lot of walks in 1921. This is going to be a shallow fly ball into left, however. Plenty of room out there for Ruth, and one down to start the bottom of the third. Pitcher Sad Sam Jones up, and a patient result for Jones, and Jones against the right-hander. That's not going to get it done. 53 will be a ground ball down to third. So probably would have been a walk for most anybody else. Instead, this is a home run Baker making a long throw across the diamond, and 2 down, top of the order, Ossie Vitt. And Vitt flew out to Ruth his first time up. And another in-play result, and Vitt's going to be a ground ball down to second base. And scooped up there, Aaron Ward whips over to Pip, and the Sox go down in order in the bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Still no score in this one. So still waiting for my fall class. I'm trying to decide what to do for my fall classic replay. The options. And it's the 1908 season. So the options will be a Christy Mathewson replay, which might be fun, or replay the 1908 series. I would do more, obviously, but do that to start, which would be Cobb and the Tigers against the Cubs, or potentially do a Chicago Cubs weekly season replay. A lot of good teams, even the Pirates with Honus Wagner, they'd be fun to play as well. As we get to the top of the fourth inning, and the Bambino steps up to face Sad Sam Jones. And 7, that's going to be an in-play result. And for Ruth, 0-9 against the right-hander. And the Bambino is going to drive that into the gap, and that's going to be down. Ruth chugging around first, heads into second base. He's got a leadoff double here to start the fourth. And that brings up Wally Pipp. And Robert, I think he said that they actually print and cut their own cards at Fall Classic at ASG, which is why the shipping takes a little bit longer. They don't keep them in stock, which is pretty cool. I looked into doing that in some of the for Glory Days boxing, but it is a pricey endeavor to say the least. As Sad Sam Jones in play result to Wally Pipp, and Pipp's going to drive that into right field. Not deep enough to get Ruth over to third, one down for Bob Musial. And Musial go a long way to getting off the schneid with a hit here, and it's going to be an in-play result. And Musial, unfortunately, that's going to be a ground ball down to second base. It does move Ruth up, but Musial is retired on the short throw by Pratt over to Stuffy McGinnis. 2 down for home run Baker. And the left-handed hitting Baker grounded out to second his first time up, and it's going to be a tough result, and 85 will be a ground ball down to Pratt again. So Dell Pratt has been an extremely busy man in this game. The Yankees are retired. They waste a leadoff double by the Bambino as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score. And for the Sox, it's going to be Mike Minosky, Dell Pratt, and Tim Purple Haze Hendricks, as Carl Mays, the side armor, gets a patient result, and Minosky is going to draw a base on balls to start the inning for the Sox. And he is actually a fairly decent runner. We're going to try and get a jump and steal here, and he can't do it. That brings up Dell Pratt, and Dell Pratt has been a machine on the infield for the Red Sox so far. We will redo that. 6 is going to be a tough result, and 30 against the right-hander, and that is going to be, he makes great contact. It's going to be a shallow pop fly behind second base. And an easy play back there for Aaron Ward, 1 down. Tim Hendricks steps up, and 8, that'll be another patient result. And Mays, once again, 4 wide ones. Second walk of the game, second of the inning, as the Sox now runners first and second. They're in business with 1 out. And a good contact hitting Stuffy McGinnis up. And McGinnis, he's going to get yet another patient result. And Mays falling apart here, 34. That's going to be a single. So Carl Mays throughout this replay has, in his few starts, has had these issues consistently. And that is going to be a line drive into left field. Runner as all advance a single base. So the sacks are loaded with 1 out. And Everett Scott with a chance to break this one wide open here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mays gets the sign, the sidearm delivery. Once again, patient, and Carl Mays has walked in the game's first run. 3 walks in the inning as Mays has lost his control. Scott gets the RBI, and the Red Sox jump out to a 1-0 lead. Shane O'Collins will be the batter. Roof, chasing grasshoppers in the outfield, as once again Mays goes patient. And this time, luckily, that's going to be a ground ball down to second base. Infield was at double play depth. Unfortunately, that is going to move the runners up. So it'll be a ground ball, 4-3 put out, and an RBI for Shane O'Collins. As the Sox extend their lead to 2-0, 2 down now. And Muddy Rule, the catcher, up, the sloth-footed Muddy Rule, and another patient result. What the hell is up with Mays? And against the right-hander, he has walked the bases loaded again. So Carl Mays is completely off his game. It's going to get a trip to the mound from the Yankees catcher, Wally Shang. Shang points to the stands, hoping to distract Mays with images of a hot blonde and see if he can get back on track. And it works. That'll be an in-play result to the pitcher, Sad Sam Jones. A shallow fly ball into left. Ruth is going to make the play, and the side is retired. But not before the Sox capitalize on Mays' wildness, turning 4 walks and a hit into 2 runs. And we head to the top of the 5th inning, nearing the halfway point of this game. Red Sox 2, Yankees 0. And Sad Sam Jones, staked to that 2-0 lead, will face Aaron Ward, and he's going to go in play to Ward. It's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and Everett Scott, the nice play in the hole, whips it across the diamond, 1 down. And the catcher, Wally Shang, steps in. Shang reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. And Sad Sam Jones, pitching a gem, gets a sign. 36 will be in play. And it's going to be a pop fly into shallow left field. And ranging back to pull that in is Everett Scott, his 2nd straight put out of the inning. And it's 2 down for Carl Mays. Way too early to think about the pen. And this is still 1921. In play result for Mays. And Carl Mays comes through. That's his 2nd hit of the day. So Carl Mays is supplying 2/3 of the Yankees offense with 2 of their 3 hits. And the Yankees have a 2-out runner on. Back to the top of the order for the feeble hitting. He left out the blonde was a laugh. Hey, whatever works. If it's a dog. And he gets an out. I don't know. Mays just went off the rails that inning. So Connolly up, and an in-play result in an 82 is going to be nowhere close for Connolly. An easy ground ball down to Dell Pratt. And once again, Carl Mays, good at the plate and not on the hill last inning. See if he can recover his stuff here in the bottom of the 5th, trailing 2-0. It's going to be top of the order, Vitt, Minosky, and Pratt. And an in-play result starts it off with Ossie Vitt. And it's going to be a pop fly into foul territory, and ranging over near the stands to pull that in is Home Run Baker. So good start to the 5th for Carl Mays. Brings up Minosky, who walked and scored the game's 1st run in his last at-bat. And Minosky, he's going to ground that down into the hole and behind second base. Nice backhand stop there is Aaron Ward, plants his feet, throws, and Minosky is set down, 2 down. And Dell Pratt 0 for 2, a pop out and a ground out to shortstop. In play result, and it's going to be a ground ball down the line and backhanded near the line. Home Run Baker with a nice play, long throw across the diamond, and Mays has regained his composure as the Sox go down in order here in the 5th. Heading to the 6th inning, 2-0, Boston clinging to the lead. But Bambino will be the 2nd batter in this inning, and he can change fate with a single swing of the bat. Here's the pitch, and a high fly ball into right field by Peckinpah, and drifting over near the foul line is Hendricks. Pulls that in, 1 down for the Bambino, and Ruth. He has 1 of the Yankees' 3 hits. Of course, Mays the other 2. He's going to try and get him on the board with 1 big swing here. And here comes the pitch, and Ruth, ground ball down to shortstop. That is right at Everett Scott, who has an easy play. Soft throw across the diamond, and Ruth slows down before he even gets to the bag, drawing the ire of Miller Huggins as he trots back to the dugout. And in play result to Wally Pipp, and the Pipster would have been good against a lefty, against a right-hander. That is a harmless pop fly in front of second base, which is no problem there for Pratt. And the Yankees also go down in order here in the 6th. So 1921, an extremely offensive year, the early 2nd year out of the dead ball era when Ruth pretty much single-handedly changed the game with power. But we have an uncharacteristic pitcher's duel as Hendricks set to lead it off against Mays. And it's going to be an in-play result, and Hendricks is going to drive that over Mays' head and into the outfield. And that is his 2nd hit of the day. He's also reached via walk. So the Red Sox lead-off runner here in the 6th inning. That brings up Stuffy McGinnis. And Stuffy McGinnis getting the sign. We are contemplating the hit and run. Not going to do it, though. I'm going to play it safe. And tough result for Mays. And that's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. And 6s be a fielder's choice. So 6-4 on the putout. And McGinnis just beats the relay throw. And the Red Sox 1 down. Runner on first. Shortstop Everett Scott steps up. And Scott gets a tough result as well as another ground ball down to shortstop and 6s again. And this time it's going to be the 6-4-3 twin killing. Mays induces the ground ball with a sinker. And the Sox are retired. We're through 6, Boston 2, and Yankees 0. This video is live in every country but the United States. We're on West Coast time too, Rob, so that doesn't even qualify sometimes as the rest of the U.S. As seventh inning is underway, Bob Musi will look to get the Yankees off to a start. 31 will be an in-play result, and Musial pops it up high and into shallow right field, and on the run, Dell Pratt, nice running over-the-shoulder catch. And I'm going to have to remember to add up Pratt's putouts. He has been a busy man in this game. Home run Baker steps up with a single out. And Baker, finally, the Yankees looking to impose a little bit of a threat here in the seventh as Baker drives that into right field. Yankees have a base runner, and nearing the end of his career, he's going to try and steal. Let's see if he can get a jump. 6, no. Still runs okay for someone in his twilight years. Aaron Ward will be the batter. No time for a sacrifice hit yet. This will be an in-play result. And that's going to be a ground ball down to third base. And fortunately, that's not going to be a double play, as charging that is Ozzie Vitt. His only play is going to be to first. Baker goes to second, 5-3 on the putout. And Yankees, second time this ball game, they've had a runner in scoring position for Wally Shang. And finally, a defensive check for the Sox. And that will be an error check on the shortstop. And 0-0. Actually, 0-0 will override that. That's going to be a rare play. So we will go to my homebrewed rare play chart. All right, we have a runner on second base. And rolling the 0-0s, let's see what we come up with. 95 and 95. Batter hits a long triple to right field, can try for an inside park home run using advance. This is 1921. Let's try for that inside the park home run as Baker comes around to score. And in right field for the Red Sox with an arm rating of 7. And Shang is a 6. Oh, what the hell? Let's try it. Here we go. Here comes a throw to the plate from right field. And, oh, for God's sake. Shang is gunned down trying to stretch a triple into an inside the park home run, but the Yankees do get a single run. So 9-2 on that putout. And they got adventurous, and it did not pay off. But we head to the seventh inning stretch. Yankees are finally on the board. It's 2-1. Boston in the lead. And it's going to be Shane Collins, Muddy Rule, and Sad Sam Jones as Carl May's back on the hill for the Yanks. And he's getting into that bad territory again, patient. And this time it's going to be worse than a walk, though, as Collins rips that down the line, and that's down in the left field corner. Collins, rounding first base, is into second with a leadoff double. And this is not what the Yankees wanted to start this inning. Muddy Rule is going to try and sacrifice him over to third base. And he is an A bunter. All right, so A, and we will roll to see who it goes to. 6, it goes to the first baseman. And that is going to be a successful sacrifice. So 3-4 on the putout there. And going over to third is Collins. And Sad Sam Jones, the Yankees infield comes in. Here comes the pitch, and 7. That's going to be an in-play result. And 75, fly ball into right field. I'm sorry, fly ball into center field. And that is going to be deep enough to get a run home. So coming in, I'm using the fat cards for that as well, guys. So fly out and a sacrifice fly, and the Red Sox extend their lead to 3-1. Sad Sam Jones helps his own cause. And back to the top of the order, bases are clear. Mays, the in-play result, and 26 to Ozzie Vitt. That's going to be a pop fly behind home plate, and there goes a mask as Wally Shane camps under that and makes a play. So the Red Sox get a hit and a run here in the 7th inning to extend their lead to 3-1. Yankees running out of time. And it will be, okay, Mays is 2 for 2, and he's a good hitting pitcher, so we're going to leave him in. Normally you would pinch it here. And RF has joined us. Welcome, my friend. And just bought this and the 79 season today, first card and dice baseball game. Hey, you made a really good choice. And I did see your thank you too for the order on that. Your heavyweight set 2 will be going out tomorrow. And you made a great choice for this baseball game. It's, you know, my 2 favorites are this and inside pitch, and basically, and actually with a very limited sample size, Status Pro used to be number 3, but I think Fall Classic, just based on what I've seen in a couple of games I've played, is going to make a strong run for that 3rd spot, and it's right behind these 2 in my opinion right now. And that could change too, because I haven't got the FAQ cards yet. And the printed set, I've just been playing with PDFs. And the facts really add a lot of flavor to Fall Classic Baseball. They are extremely well done in terms of giving you play descriptions. So we might end up, at least with me, with Payoff Pitch, Inside Pitch, and Fall Classic being 1A, 1B, and 1C. Depending on, like I said, how it goes when I get the printed set, but very impressed so far. But this is a great choice too, a very easy game to play, flows real nice. And again, the fast action cards, as you see, I use the dice rolls and then the fast action cards for runner advancement, defense, and whatnot. Really makes the game play smooth. Great game that Joe Bryan's put together here. So here we go. Top of the 8th inning, and Mays, as mentioned, is going to get to hit. It's going to be a tough result, and Mays, not the outcome he wanted there. The first time he's been retired as he grounds that down to 3rd base. So 1 down to start the 8th for the Yankees, and Tom Connolly, who's been horrible in this game. I don't even know why he's in the lineup. And here comes a pitch, and Connolly ground ball down to Pratt. And Pratt has retired Connolly 3 of the 4 times he's hit. The other time Connolly struck out, and which I believe is our only strikeout of the game this far. So 2 down to Roger Peckinpah, and Jones wants to get him out here and not face Roof with runners on. This will be a patient result, 25. And the table is set as 4 wide ones. Peckinpah trots down to first, and sauntering up to the plate with his extremely overpowered payoff pitch card is the Bambino. And Ruth today is 1 for 3 with a double and a couple of ground outs. Jones gets his sign straight with a catcher. Here comes a pitch. And 8, that's going to be tough to Ruth. And 74, Ruth is able to fight that off for a single against the right-hander. And a soft blooper into right field. Runner on first only advances 1 base. So station to station, but Ruth keeps the inning alive. And Wally Pipp, whose time as the Yankees' first baseman is running out as Lou Gehrig 3 years down the road. But Pipp, chance to be a hero here. And we will re-roll that because it went out of the box. Same roll. And that's going to be an in-play result. And Wally Pipp, 8, that's going to be a single. And a hard grounder into right field. And runner on first scores. Runner on first advances 2. Runner on second scores. And we have a new ball game. It is 3-2 now. Yankees looking to come back. And Babe Ruth, the tie and run, is 90 feet away. So Jones, he's staying out there. It's his game to win or lose, and Musial steps up. Musial, he's the one you want to face because Musial has been extremely lethargic in this replay, and that's going to be a looping fly ball into center field, coming in hard. Shane O'Collins, and makes the underhanded catch. Side is retired. So the Yankees claw one back on a couple of hits and a walk. We are heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 3-2, the Red Sox in a very uncommon 1921 pitchers duel. And it's going to be Minosky, Pratt, and Hendricks. Oh, dang it. I need a higher dice tray. Here we go. And there's that dreaded patient, and Minosky once again draws a base on balls. So that is the 5th walk surrendered by Mays today. He does have a tendency to have bouts of wildness, as you've seen in this game. 34 to Dell Pratt, and Pratt against the right-hander. Pratt is an excellent hitter against right-handed pitching. It's going to be a soft blooper into left field. Runner on first advances 1. So Mays may be running out of steam, and getting up in the Yankees bullpen is Alex Ferguson, who in a different life will go on to manage Manchester United to some success in the English Premier League. Tim Hendricks up, Purple Haze, and ballpark 90. That's going to be an in-play result. And coming up big is Mays. That's a fly ball into shallow right field that Musial takes care of. 1 down. As Ferguson warms up feverishly, Stuffy McGinnis, the batter. Here comes a pitch, and in-play result to McGinnis, and that's going to be a ground ball down to second base, and that's going to move the runners up. McGinnis retired. A nice play there in the hole by Aaron Ward. Saved a single into right field, and that'll bring up Everett Scott. Everett Scott can blow this open with a base hit here. Mays gets the sign straight with Shang. Here he comes, a sidearm delivery. The Submariner comes hard, and another in-play result to Everett Scott. It's going to be a fly ball into right field near the line, hustling over to pull that in. And just in foul or fair territory is Bob Musial. And so Mays, after giving up a hit and a walk to start the inning, rebounds to retire the next 3 batters. As we're heading to the top of the 9th, Red Sox clinging to a 3-2 lead, and up in the bullpen is normally one of their ace starters, but Bullet Joe Bush. The Red Sox are going to get him loose in case he needs to come in for the save. And for the Yankees, it's going to be Home Run Baker, Aaron Ward, and Wally Shang, and then the pitcher spot. So check in with the chat here. Our RJL is doing a great job selling baseball games. You know what, Al? If you're still listening, we need to do another. We haven't done a chat in a while. We need to do a boxing / baseball chat. All right, here we go. Top of the 9th, and the Yankees, their last chance, and a defensive check. So I can tell you right now, it's not going to be good for the Yankees on that 95 roll. Be a range check into center field. And despite the fact that he has a range of F, that 95 is going to get the play done. So a nice running catch by Shane O'Collins. And Baker is retired to start the 9th inning. Sad Sam Jones gets a sign. Comes a sidearm delivery to Aaron Ward, and that's going to be another in-play result. And Ward drives that down the line to the left. That's into the corner. Rounding first is Ward, coming to second base. Here comes the throw in from Minosky. Head first slide, and Ward is in under the tag. A 1-out double, and the Yankees, just like that, on the verge of tying this game. Wally Shang, he can be a hero. And Shang is going to get the patient result, and he'll draw a base on balls. So Bullet Joe Bush warming up feverishly, and Mays, the pitcher spot up. He's going to get pulled for a pinch hitter. So Mays in this game goes 8 innings. Only gives up 5 hits. Wildness cost him. He has 3 runs on his tally sheet, all earned. And ended up walking, I think I said 5. Yes, he has walked 5 and 0 strikeouts. So a very shaky overall inning for Carl Mays. And if we go extra innings, Alex Ferguson will be the Yankees pitcher. So coming out to pinch hit against Sad Sam Jones will be Elmer Miller. And Miller against right-handers hit 276 in 1921. One down. Miller, a chance to be the hero here. Here comes a pitch. Patient result. And Miller draws a base on balls, and the sacks are loaded for New York as we go back to the top of the order. And there's no place to put them. The base is saturated with Yankees. Here comes the manager to talk to Jones, and Jones reassures him he's going to let him go. His fatigue rating is 9, so he is still okay. So Tom Connolly, who has been absolutely miserable today, can redeem himself, and 38, tough result, and that is just off. Only a left-hander. It's going to be a line drive to the shortstop, and sliding back to base is Shang, almost a double play there that would have ended the game. So Peckinpah will be the batter, and lurking on deck is Babe Ruth. So nerves here in Fenway Park. The fans on their feet. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Sox up by a run. Here we go. Here comes the pitch. Sad Sam Jones. It's going to be a patient result. 27. And Peckinpah draws a base on balls. This game is tied. So the Yankees have completed their comeback, and that is going to do it for Sad Sam Jones. He goes 8 and 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 7 hits, and just like with Mays, the walk came back to hurt him here late in the game as he walked 3 here in the 9th. He had a total of 4 walks for the entire game and just a single strikeout. Sorry, make it actually he had 5 walks too. So 5 walks and a single strikeout. And Bullet Joe Bush is going to come on. Actually, no, he won't. It'll be Alan Russell since the game is tied now. And Russell set to hit second for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th. So here we go, all tied up, 2 outs. The sacks are still loaded, and guess who's up? The Bambino. One swing of his mighty bat, the Sultan of the SWAT. Patient result, 0-1, and Babe Ruth draws 4 wide ones to drive home the go-ahead run. Yankees take a 4-3 lead. The comeback is complete, and bases will still be loaded. Red Sox fans throwing debris out on the field as their pitchers have just lost it here in the 9th inning. Wally Pipp looking to get some insurance, and that'll be an in-play result. And the Pipster be a pop fly, and that's ranging over near the stands. Will it get to the stands? No, it does not. Muddy Rule is able to get to it and make the play, and the side is retired, but the damage is done. 1 hit, 4 walks, brings home 2 runs, as the Yankees have scored all their runs over the last 3 innings. And into the bottom of the 9th, they take a 4-3 lead. And Alex Ferguson on for the save, and Carl Mays actually can get the win out of this. Looked like he was going to get a loss or no decision. So for Ferguson, it's going to be Shane O'Collins, Muddy Rule, and the pitcher spot. Here we go. And a defensive check to start the inning for the Yankees. Be a range check at shortstop, and at shortstop with a range of D, making that play easily on the roll of 98. So 1 down by Peckinpah. 6-3 on the putout, and Muddy Rule will be the batter. Ferguson looking to clinch it for the Yankees, and 8. That's going to be an in-play result. Not so fast, my friend, as Muddy Rule drives that into left field. A sharp line drive, and the Red Sox 1-out single. They're going to be playing it safe here, and Alan Russell is going to be pinch hit for. So if we are tied, Bullet Joe Bush will come in. And pinch hitting for the Sox will be a former Pale Sox player Nemo Leibold, and Leibold against right-handed pitchers hit a robust 304 in 1921. So Ferguson gets a sign, kicks, delivers. Can the Sox walk it off? And that'll be a patient result against the right-hander, 44. And that's going to be driven into the gap in left center. And that's going to fall for a double into the alley. All runners scored, and we are tied up and looking at free baseball as chugging all the way around from first is Muddy Rule, and the Red Sox, undaunted, come back to knot it up at 4 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Runner on second base, Ozzie Vitt. The Yankees have nobody in their bullpen. It is Ferguson's now to win or lose. And it's going to be an in-play result. And 53, a fly ball into shallow right field. That's not going to be enough to move the runner to third, and 2 down. So Mike Minoski, he can be the hero or the GOAT. Here comes the pitch, and 5. That will be a patient result. And Minoski, he's going to draw his 3rd walk of the game, and it's not over yet. First and second, tie score, 2 down. Dell Pratt, the batter. And Pratt, who has been a marvel in the field for the Red Sox today, can be the offensive hero as well. And tough result to Pratt, and whoa, against the right-hander. No, damn it. It's going to be a single, and that could be the ball game. Bloop into right field, runner on second scores, and Dell Pratt walks it off because he does not strike out against right-handers. Alex Ferguson blows the lead, and the Yankees fall to the Red Sox 5-4. So an exciting finish to that for the Red Sox. They come up with 3 hits and 2 runs in the 9th inning. And a tight game throughout and a very exciting finish. So let's tally up our final line score. The Yankees, 8 runs, 4 hits. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Red Sox, 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. And the story of this game was, and it affected both staffs, wildness. So walks did the Yankees in again. Now, Red Sox fan is jumping up and down. Bob's Tabletop Sports, happy to avoid free baseball. And I know somewhere RJL is very happy as well that the Red Sox have come back to win. So the winner of this game, despite pitching miserably, is going to be Alan Russell. Alex Ferguson gets the loss. And I wanted to add up the putouts that Dell Pratt had because he was busy today. Yeah, between putouts and assists, 11 for Dell Pratt of the Red Sox. And he also had the game-winning RBI. He went 2 for 5 with a ribby, couple of singles. Stellar plays in the field, so we're going to give him the Red Sox Game Ball MVP. So thanks to everyone for joining us. Al, Red Sox fan, check out his amazing channel, doing a lot of PC action sports. Also talked me into buying Pro Football Strategy 21. It's a very fun game. He does a lot of those as well. Bob's Tabletop Sports, and Bob is in the process of getting some new equipment to start streaming again. RF, thank you very much for stopping in, my friend. And again, thank you for your support of the game. And our buddy Rob, exclamation point, check out his great channel as well for his NFL season picks, Glory Days boxing, and a multitude of other games. Philip Reynolds, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Utah Mike, Sports Time Machine, check out his channel as well. There's a lot of payoff pitch on his channel, as well as XOR. The great football game from the 1980s, which still holds up to this day, I might add. And then, of course, our good friend RJL. Every baseball game on the planet you can find on his channel, and look for a 1921 Cardinals replay coming up. And last but not least, Matt Steeler Fan 1933, supporter of Glory Days boxing extraordinaire and a very big asset to the community and to my rating as well. So, hey, thanks to everyone for joining us. On your way out the turnstiles, please hit that like button. and hope you all have a great day. And if we don't broadcast prior to, Happy New Year to everyone. This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Until next time, keep rolling for the fences. We'll see ya.